Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War, Campaign 12, Week 10, Day 7, the final day of the campaign, the final hours of the Dragon Gems, until basically nothing runs it ever again. But anyways, we're going to be going over all the weekly spoilers and basically just farming a bunch of Volkies, as isn't too many other things to do other than, just clearing up the standard dailies right now. But anyways, next week, the main thing going on next week is the continuation of pretty much every event we have going on right now. For example, we still have Kingdom Pass going on. We still have the Lunar New Year. Also, Happy Lunar New Year, by the way. I believe that is actually specifically today, as far as when that falls. But yeah, there's that. Of course, we still have the event going on for that the entirety of next week as well, to be able to get all the rewards. The only thing that's really ending is the campaign. Of course, the campaign pass, if you haven't already finished it. Of course, there was a glitch with it that they still haven't addressed fully. I'm not sure when they're going to. But they still haven't. I checked the forum. There was no post on such. But of course, getting all your loot from the campaign passes will end in a couple hours from now. Like 5-ish hours or so. So if you haven't already, make sure to finish it. Anyways, bam. That's the rundown on that. Let's start going over the spoiler. So, first things first. The official post on the Gems of War forum. We have ourselves the Doomed Gargoyle coming in for a Nexus event next week. Nexus, unfortunately, as good as the hero class is, it does not have that many good options from the kingdom. And this one is not too much different. It converts a gem of a mana color to a Uber Doomskull. So this is basically... How do I describe this? This is basically Azarus if they found a way to make him even worse. So, yeah, he's basically just worse Azarus. Azarus gets to create a skull for 6 mana costs, and if there's like 13 plus purple or something weird, he gets like an auto extra turn, all his mana back, I don't remember. Something like that. But basically, he's like actually usable because his mana cost is low enough. He's a unique epic that actually has an absurdly low mana cost of only 6, which is very uncommon for an epic. As epics normally have around like what 10 to like 16, 17, sometimes even 18ish area. Normally like the 10 to 16ish. But the fact that Azarus was only 6 made it quite unique and actually usable. The problem with what this does is it's doing the same thing, except it's Uber Doom Skull instead of normal Skull, which that's good. That's worth like 8 mana costs. But for 12 mana costs, that's just too high. That is too high for what he does. It's just not viable enough. Like if his traits were amazing, like Empower, Stone Skin, and then like something else, like maybe we can make that work. But oh no, it's just a way too high of a mana cost. Even at 8, I'm not sure if it would have been used. But at least then it would be more in line with what Azarus does as far as his overall values. But 12 double in Azarus just to use a pretty similar ability is really, really, really bad. But at least he's elemental, elemental construct. But no, he's not really going to get used into any kind of context, unless you really need his coloration for some reason, as instead of an Azarus, which is very rare because Azarus is red-purple and this is red-brown. So the only situation is, in the brown coloration, which I highly doubt. Anyways, we are getting a new legend finally in the event queue drop table, something I feel like we haven't gotten much as of lately. As far as what it does, deals a bunch of heavy splash damage, which does mean 75% to the 2 adjacent enemies, or 2 adjacent targets, to the second and last enemy. Oh wait, okay, that's actually interesting. Wait. To the second and last enemy. That's 2 really interesting ones to hit. So, of course, the second... Oh, sorry, wait. I read that wrong. It deals heavy splash damage to the second last enemy. I read that as second and last enemy. But no, it only hits once on the 3rd slot, which is generally considered the safest location on a team. So that's kind of interesting. One thing that this could actually counter is stealthy. So there's a lot of teams that if you're going to run stealthy, they're going to run stealthy like in 2nd and 3rd slot. Most notable Life and Death Weaver, but there are others. And this keeps your 3rd slot super safe as far as how things hit in Gems of War. 3rd slot is generally your overall safest location. And this directly hits 3rd slot. It doesn't say that, it's the second to last, but that is effectively 3rd slot. So interesting to see how this will pan out. That also means it's 3rd slot even if your 1st slot dies. So if your 1st slot dies, it is still hitting your 3rd slot, which is interesting. It then pulls them to the front and then creates 3 elemental stars. That's interesting. It is basically a stealthy 3rd slot counter, because even if they're stealthy, this will still hit them and it will still drag them to 1st. So unlike something like Rope Dart, that, if it was stealthy, you wouldn't be able to do that. This will. This is absurdly niche, but an interesting premise. As, yeah, that's a decently, that's a decently hard to counter spot. I don't feel like its mana cost is going to justify using it, though. It's not creating enough elemental stars to get enough mana to really get glowing. It's not like it's looping or anything. It's not like it's auto-turn Rope Dart. So, but it's basically like alternative Rope Dart. It's like Rope Dart in like a weird ultra niche case that's almost never going to get used, but, it's not bad. It's just so niche that it's almost never going to get used. And it gives a bunch of magic to all elemental allies when matching brown gems. This in theory is good, but you'd have to build your team heavily against it. And one thing that you're likely going to have is Mirage Queen. And Mirage Queen, of course, doesn't actually benefit from the magic, both in the sense that, well, it doesn't use magic, but also in the fact that it's not a brown to gain magic off of. I don't know, this could be okay. I just feel like it's going to be too niche to be usable, but it's not a bad troop. It's just a utility troop that is so far out there in a specific niche that I don't feel like you would bring it out even in that situation you need it. Like, it's definitely not a troop you would use on every team. You would only use it to, like, maybe ever so hard counter in Guild War. Like, let's say you are up against, like, Life and Death Weaver, and you want to kill the third slot Weaver. Well, there you go. You got a way to kill third slot Weaver without going Rope Dart on Brown or Blue Day. Like, that's, like, one of its only cases. And, of course, next week, one interesting thing that we have is Tower of Doom. Of course, we have Tower of Doom once every 11 weeks, which feels like once per year. So I'll be getting that tomorrow, and all that brings. We're mostly just getting the dagger weapon, nothing special here. It's a useless type of Doom weapon that ends up getting introduced several months ago, earlier last year. We will be getting a new Doom type pretty soon. I believe this is the second to last dagger being added to the game. Actually, we can go check that. If we go double check on Doom weapons here, I believe it is the second to last one, with the last one being the one for red. And then we're finally going to get new Doom weapons. What those will be, we don't currently know. The last Doom weapon will be coming in on April 10th. Or not the last one, but the last one of the daggers. And then another 77 days, after 77 days from now, we will end up getting the new type of Doom weapon. What that will be, who knows? That's going to be like summer at this point, because that's like, what, 5 months from now? So yeah, that's going to be like middle summer. We don't currently know, or I guess early summer, depends how you look at it. But yeah, we don't know exactly what that new Doom type weapon will be, but hopefully it'll be good, because they've done a lot of really bad ones. And it feels like the weapons we've gotten for Doom over the last few years have just been horrible. Because whenever a new one comes out, it stays around for like a year and a half. Like, we're going to be getting the brown one tomorrow, then we're going to get the red one 77 days later, and then not till another 144 days will we actually be getting the, sorry, 154, I mean. Not another 154 days would be getting the new type of Doom weapon, whatever that may be. Anyways, but yeah, that's that. Pretty useless weapon, but you might still want to get it for completion's sake. So, other things that we have going on next week, it's mostly that event, and just wrapping up on already existing events. So, of course, as I mentioned, we're still going to have the holiday event going on all next week. We're still going to have the Kingdom Pass going on all next week. The only one that's ending, of course, is all the weekly ones this week, as well as the campaign that is finally coming to an end, which means no dragon gems from the sky anymore. As far as world event, oh yeah, I should go over that in a moment. It's on the other post. Oh wait, never mind. Duh, there's no world event. What am I saying? It's replaced with Tower of Doom. There's no world event. But of course, we have Tower of Doom. Basically, it's going to be red Tower of Doom, so just use pure red teams. Angry Mob, pretty good mana accumulator for that. A couple of Empowers do it pretty well as well. A lot of triple damage burning teams out there that can end up being utilized, so quite a few options to use. Obviously, you also have access to Zolgoth, which is a good idea. However, keep in mind it cannot kill the Doom, but it can kill everything else. Aside from that, faction and everything else we have, of course, is going to be for Nexus. So we have the Umbral Nexus faction. On Wednesday, we're going to be getting the... Actually, is this a new pet? I actually don't remember. It is! What is this for, though? It's cosmetic. Is it? Divinian Field. Wait, what is this pet? 1 second. Hold up. What is this pet? It's a new one, but I can't identify what it is. Yeah, it is cosmetic. For Barbecue Day. When on earth did they ever celebrate Barbecue Day? Well, we're celebrating Barbecue Day now. Interesting. And we're getting whatever on earth this is for Barbecue Day. But, have they ever? I don't think they ever have. I've never heard of this before. Barbecue Day? It's normally called 4th of July here in America. But, interesting. But yeah, we're getting a pet for it. I'm pretty sure for the first time ever. But yeah, we have that going on. Anyways, it's cosmetic, obviously, so just getting it for completion's sake. Aside from that, yeah, we're getting a new pet on Wednesday. Thursday, we have ourselves the class event for Nexus, which obviously is Elementalist, which is noteworthy in the fact that that is arguably the best hero class in the game. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's arguably, it just is. It's not always the best one to use in every team. But as far as, like, overall value, not much keeps up with how broken Elementalist is. I'm actually surprised they haven't nerfed it. We did a tier list over it a while back, and I think we put it in S+ tier, like its own individual tier. Anyways, as far as invasions, we do have Invasion Weekend. Specifically, the invasion will end up being for the type of Wild Folk. So you could bring out all your Wild King, Wild Queen teams, as they're likely going to be some of your best options, and simply using it with the Invasion Slayer in first slot. Basically, your team's going to be like 1 or 2 Invasion Slayers, followed by like Wild King, and then maybe like King Salinas or something along those lines. Maybe only 1 Raid Slayer, Invasion Slayer, and like a Man Accumulator off a hero, or something similar. But basically, really, your premise will be the Invasion troop in first slot, with either Wild King and or Wild Queen, and then the rest is just mana accumulation. And it's pretty much going to be the strategy for the Friday invasions. And that's everything we have going on this week, other than the already reoccurring events of the Kingdom Pass, which is still going to be ongoing, and of course the Lunar New Year, which occurred today, which is also ongoing all through next week to be able to get more rewards. With that being said, since we're already here, let's go do it. Let's go do our Lunar New Year battles. Still have to do this for 8 more days, today and all of next week. And in doing so, I currently already have the armor and the troop maxed. However, in the next week, we will also get the standard pet maxed, a single copy of the golden pet version of it, and a power orb, because why not? It's a pretty cheap power orb. It comes out to effectively a few hundred gems. Might as well. Anyways, let's go do that. Still using the same team as before. Marilith, Staff of Storms. Gosh, why do we always keep forgetting his name? Scourge of Honor and Tina 9000. Anyways, hello everyone! Didn't even say hello yet. Let me start all the way from the top. Hello, Barbara! Hello, Ricardo! Hello, Bill! Hope all you guys have had a wonderful weekend. Hello, Isabel! Hello, Lester! Trying to read through some of the chats. Yes, happy other New Year, everyone! Happy Lunar New Year. Hello, Henry, as it did take place today. Hello, Tyrion. Hello, Logic Slayer. Hello, Supernova. Hello, Emernator. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, Clipbomb. Hello, Ginky. Hello, hello, Logic Slayer. Hello, Jonian. Hello, Mason. Hello, hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyways, where were we? Let's go get this event done. Might as well go get all the ongoing events done, because I believe the guild has finished all the weeklies, which is nice. We already claimed one of them last night, and I'm pretty sure the very annoying world event this week is also done now. World event was scored very weirdly this week, where it required like more points than normal. But we still got it done. Or should be. Let me go double check, actually. Otherwise, we gotta go do some battles. Let's double check. Yes, it is indeed done now. And then we get to join my cult. That's actually funny if someone uses that while recruiting. The join my cult title. Let's see what we get for the orb. Come on, good orb. That is not a good orb. Why do we keep getting oranges? Good fruit, bad orb. Anyways, let's go and clear out the current events and start gonna get some copies of the pet. Unfortunately, the pet is almost effectively cosmetic. It's not actually cosmetic, though it's buffing a troop that is very bad. That troop, of course, being the new one that came out, which is also very bad. And giving it 5 to all stats does not improve it. Which is pretty much the case for any bad troop that ever gets a pet like that. 5 to all stats is not enough to make a good troop bad. It'll just give them more stats for when they never get used. Did anyone else hear about the green comet passing by Earth? I did not. I would assume by now we would have good defenses for any kind of situation like that. Or like if there was like a random asteroid, we'd have some way to negate it. I sure hope we have that kind of technology these days. I would assume so. Let's see, we'll go for the Marilith there. So we're starting to get quite a bit of points. It does start to stack up the later you go, because of course every single time you do 5 battles, you start getting 1 more point. And 1 more point every single time might not sound like a lot, but gosh, it does add up pretty quickly. And would start to go up by even more, you know, if it lasted for more than 2 weeks. So of course, the fact that it's limited to 2 weeks does make it eventually cap off. You finally got a good orb? A lesser Orb of Glory? Nice, yeah, that's a good pickup to get. Honestly, the Orb of Glories, I personally feel like is the best overall orb to get. Even though it's nice to get the slightly rare pet orbs, they don't really do as much. Especially if you're just using them to upgrade all the cosmetic pets for completionist's sake. They feel like they do even less. Like, they're still needed to eventually max everything. But they feel like they have less of an impact compared to giving a mythic extra stats. Let's see. Throw that down. You end up watching the stream of Spiritfarer? Nice, you watched the whole thing? Oh, it seems you missed the beginning of it because it's not a standalone video. Yeah, it took a couple streams. I actually don't make playlists of a lot of them. Mostly just to not overcrowd with playlists. Like, if you search on the channel, which you could do on the PC version, I believe you can a mobile version. Not sure if you can on the TV version. But basically, if you search on the channel, like go to our channel, not the YouTube search, but specifically the search that's on a given person's YouTube page, if you go to ours and type in Spiritfarer, it should bring up every stream of it. And normally they're numbered, so it's pretty easy to tell from there. I just don't always make a playlist for them, otherwise we'd have 1.5 billion playlists. Of like a bunch of very short series that are like a few videos long or a few streams long, I mean. Because we'd probably have like 100 more playlists on this channel if we did. Of like games that we stream like 3 times in order to finish the entire thing. And some of them it was only one stream, which I don't even think you can make a playlist out of one stream. Like for example, Death's Door was one stream. But I might revisit it again to do a little bit more with it. Because we only got basic ending. Same as what we did with Hollow Knight. We didn't actually go for like true ending. Anyways. Okay, so we don't need to do anything with campaign. Obviously that's done. We do need to still get the 10 crowns. That's still a thing. Let's go do a dungeon first though. That is not dungeon. No, don't draft me a team. I don't want an arena. No, just click yes so I can say no. It's kind of weird that you have to click yes there to say no. But clicking the other one re-rolls it. It's not actually a no button. Anyways, you can't just say... They need a third button there. The re-roll button that already exists, the yes button to confirm the team, and the no button to be like, I don't want this draft. I don't even want to re-roll it. The draft is so bad. Oh gosh, we just double hit trap. Well, at least we can hit all of them now since we already hit the traps. That's only bleed trap on this day though. Yeah, this is like nothing. Oh, I just realized something. We're slightly short on Dragonite. That means we'll open up an egg tomorrow night. Ooh. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll open an egg. And hopefully it'll finally be our brown egg, because gosh, we need it already. You know what? Maybe I'll just end up saving it for a little while. Oh, so you got 22 shiny Larvatars. Oh gosh. You went crazy on Pokemon Go. Actually, you know what? Maybe I might stream soon again. The 1-year anniversary of Pokemon Legends Arceus is 6 days from now. I believe it's the 28th was when it first started. So we're probably going to do a day-long stream for it that day. It's been a while since we streamed it. Well, we've kind of depleted all the content there. We can still hunt for shinies. And it's basically the game that got me back into Pokemon this year. Like, I have played a couple thousand hours of Pokemon this year, having not played the series in years prior. And prior to that, decade prior. Like, I played more Pokemon this year than the last 15 years combined, I want to say. Because the last time I would have played Pokemon prior for, like, any extended amount of time would have been back in, like, 2008? 2009? So this year, I played more Pokemon than... yeah, pretty much the rest of that time combined. It's 2023, not 2020. You know what I mean. Did I just say... I'm pretty sure I said that in wrong order, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's 2023 now, not 2022. Do you know the last time we played that game was when that one developer who did that one Scrabble game gave us the code for the game. I didn't even realize he did because I don't check my email for that often. Yeah, that's how long it's been. That was back in like September, gosh. Have I ever been at Nacho Hippo? Yes. I've been at Nacho Hippo a couple times. Actually, I go there every single time I ever go on a flight. Mostly because there's a Nacho Hippo right where the Spirit Airlines thingy is, and I almost always ride with Spirit Airlines. Not always, but more often, not always. At least out of this location anyways. But more often not, like 90+% of the time if I'm flying anywhere. But anyways, so right next to the terminals there's a Nacho Hippo. So, like, anytime I ever go on a flight, I normally eat at Nacho Hippo. And honestly, I like their breakfast the most. Since it's a southern area, one thing that they have that's really, really good is biscuit and gravy. Like biscuit, gravy, eggs, hash browns, all that kind of stuff. Which obviously is not the main reason you would normally go for a Nacho's Hippo, obviously for the nachos. But oddly enough, I have had their eggs with gosh, why can I not remember the term of the other thing? Yeah, their eggs with biscuit and gravy more than I've had nachos at their place. But yeah, I do enjoy nachos a decent amount. The only thing I hate about nachos is when they try putting like too many things on it. Like, I am fine just with like nachos plus cheese. Like, you don't need to complicate it. Like, we don't need guac. We don't need avocado, though they are good. We don't need like jalapenos, sour cream, all that. Just or any kind of meat. Just put like good nacho cheese on some nacho chips, and you're pretty much good to go. Doesn't have to be overly convoluted. But they definitely have some overly convoluted options, that's for sure. Some of them are good. Depends on the taste at the moment. Anyways, speaking of good, is there anything good on Adventure Board? We got gems. Might as well grab the gems. I'm looking for Phoenicia build real quick. Did we eat at the same Nacho Hippo? Yes. If you were at the South Carolina Myrtle Beach Airport and ate at a Nacho Hippo in that airport, that is the airport of which I'm referring to. Though I'm not sure how good their nachos are, because oddly enough, I have never actually ordered nachos from that Nachos Hippo. The Nachos Hippo I've eaten at is not the one that's in the airport when it comes to actual nachos. The one at the airport, I normally just get breakfast from. Because generally when I'm flying out from here in the morning, not in the afternoon. Not always, but more often than not, it's in the morning. Which is how the flights normally roll. Is the stream buffering for anyone else? Oh no, is it? My device says it has dropped 0 frames. That doesn't mean it's not buffering. But I'm not sure. It doesn't say I'm dropping any. But that's not always a perfect indicator that it is or isn't. Alright, so we did that. I think we're just up in Volkies now. Oh, wait, there's one other one. Oh, so I saw a post on the forum talking about Kingdom Pass taking too long. I mentioned that a couple times on stream. I do wish it took a bit less time. It's definitely an event that takes... It overstays its welcome just a little bit as far as duration to complete it. Like, it's not too bad to do the daily of it every single time. But the amount of time that it lingers around does slightly overstay its welcome. But I don't mind doing a little bit of killing here. So let's go get our good old Dust Devil team. Oh yeah, do I have a 1080p option on? Or did I disable that? Because I know for a while I disabled it back to 720 so it wouldn't lag. Do we actually have 1080p on right now? Because that can make things lag. Oh yeah, we do have a 1080p option. Nice. Okay, make sure it's not on 1080p then. Lower the resolution. Because this stream is going as high as 1080p 30. Though I do only stream in 30 FPS instead of 60 FPS, which is something you might notice with videos. Is all of our videos are in 1080p 60, but all of our streams are in 1080p 30. And the main reason for this is just so we don't lag during streams. Oh, I was hoping you would let us have it. Fail. Green Surge, Yellow Surge, they both work. Though you need to actually Surge. A little unfortunate that this thing can survive the 25 damage poke. It's not too big a deal. It basically just makes us take an extra turn to have to finish it off. Take an extra 2 turns depending on how you look at it. Unless we see like a 5 times yellow or green on the board. Because one funny thing that we could do with that is double cast this thing. Or do like something like that, boom, do it again, boom. And it's killed out that way. And look, we haven't even touched Dust Devil. Like, that's just strategy if it does spawn. Not consistent as it does require the extra turn on the board. Kind of like how Rowan used like a 4 times green or blue on the board. Kind of the same premise there. Except in the case of this, it needs a green or yellow. Oh, I could just taken a skull. Whoops. Spawned right there from Sky. I'm actually surprised it didn't take the skull. It could have. That's hello, Maximus. Hello, Jamie. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we're getting lucky with the crowns. Oh no, why did I cast that one? Wait, why on earth did I click that? Hit the wrong one. Whoops. Didn't end up ultimately mattering too much. And after this, we'll go hand out a code, and then pretty much just open Volkies the rest of the stream. It'll be a very heavy Volky opening stream. Actually, this whole weekend kind of has been. Mostly because we kind of finished everything already. It's all the more important events. Of course, if you haven't, last couple hours to finish the campaign. Campaign will be ending, as with the Dragon Gems. Honestly, I won't miss the Dragon Gems. They weren't bad, they weren't good. They're just kind of there. And now when they're gone, they're just going to be kind of still just not... like, it'll be almost unnoticeable, the difference. Like, they were kind of there, but not that noticeable. And then they're not going to be there, and also still not be that noticeable. Like, the day difference between Dragon Gems falling from the sky and the day that it changes, I probably won't even notice. Like, we'll go through all of Monday's stream. Unless I specifically remember to remember it. I will probably not even realize that Dragon Gems are gone. Oh, here's the yellow thing I was talking about. We could double cast yellow and then still go for the kill. Nice, there we go. We only did that from a 4x, 5x green or yellow. Ideally 5x because we don't have the +2 in the bow. Actually, I'm not sure which I have the +2 into. I think it's yellow. Whereas green's the one we don't have it in. I say that because we have the thing. Actually, it's an easy way to check. Oh wait, I have it in neither? Wait, what's my banner right now? Oh, you know why my banner's weird? It normally would be. And because normally what you would want to roll banner-wise for this team is a +2 green, +1 yellow, so that you could 4x into both. Currently we don't, and the reason for that is because we set this team a lot for doing the weekly objective, whatever it is for the campaign. But as far as optimal banner, you want to be setting it to this one, or any of them similar to that. Do we have an alternative? Yeah, we could technically do one of those. So this one's actually slightly better, so. But if you don't have Entangle banner, you can run like Warren's banner. But this gives the 2 +2s you need. +2 green and +2 yellow. So if we take a 4x on green or yellow, Sister Superior will be able to get the cleanup off the 4x. Because you cast Sister Superior, you take the 4x, you cast Sister Superior again, and then you cast Dust Devil. Because Dust Devil has a +1 yellow on it, so you'll have a total +2 +2. And we're just going for minus purple since it doesn't minus anything, though minusing blue doesn't really matter on this team, because you're never casting Ironhawk. But in case we need it for whatever reason, like we accidentally use it in a build, in a battle where we might have to use it. Like, what if we accidentally misclick this onto a 2x Vault Chest? Or not Vault Chest, whatever you'd call it, a 2x Mimic Chest. Because if we did that, then we have to kill it with Ironhawk. And having that one extra blue will make it slightly easier. I like Bomb Gems. Yeah, honestly, Dragon Gems seemed nearly as pointless as Bomb Gems. Like, I still feel like Bomb Gems are the worst non-Lycanthropy gem they have ever added. But Dragon Gems are pretty far down there. It might be the second worst non-Lycanthropy gem. Because you can't compare it to Lycanthropy. That's just unfair. It's like forever permanently the worst gem to ever exist. Power gem. It's an unfair comparison. So of the non-Lycanthropy, Bomb Gem is the worst and Dragon is the second worst. I think it's based on current ones. Also, I'm not sure what Power Gem we're getting next season. We'll know in 2 weeks from now. Because next week we have just nothing with the Tower of Doom. And then the following week we get a new Power Gem of some sort. We should also be getting the patch pretty soon as well. Potentially within the next few weeks. The first big patch of the year. Dragon something and you're sold, pretty much. Though I did skip that one Fire Emblem Dragon game that came out recently. Came out like last Friday. The protagonist just drives me crazy. It is one of the weirdest looking protagonists I have ever seen. Like, I'm pretty sure it has some kind of lore relevance or something. But it's just too much for me. It's actually the only Fire Emblem game I've ever skipped since we started playing some Fire Emblem games. Does Stone Block count as a gem? Yes, technically, Stone Block is a power gem. However, Stone Block is not actually bad. As weird as that may seem. Even though on paper, it might seem like worse Bomb Gem, it is actually better than Bomb Gem. So I guess that is true. Dragon Gem is better than Stone Block, but Stone Block is better than Bomb Gem. The main reason being is that you can end up blocking off the map. However, they don't accumulate mana when destroyed, and this is actually a good thing, because normally the whole strategy of stone blocks is to make the map as small as possible, and you don't want the enemy ruining that. And if all of the gems just explode into each other, they're just going to get a full board clear. Whereas it's a bunch of stone blocks, they might not be able to properly clear out the board, and then you can deliberately make it very small and then do shenanigans from there. So I would say stone block, despite it on paper doing less than a bomb gem, is actually more effective than a bomb gem. Just because the role of blocking the board is done better by stone blocks than it does by bomb gems. Whereas bomb gems can block the board, and you can use them for that purpose. If even one of them explode, well, there goes the entire board. You just full board cleared. Whereas if a single stone block gets destroyed, well, that doesn't do anything. It just gets rid of that one stone block. Whereas you do the same with a bomb gem, you just exploded the whole board. Which, in the way that you use them, is a bad thing. Obviously, normally destroying the whole board's a good thing. But the premise of what it's supposed to do, it's a bad thing. Like, it goes against what the gem wants to do. Yeah, we're not playing Fire Emblem Engage. Unless it goes down some kind of, like, ultra sale in the future because it sold so badly. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be the least sold Fire Emblem Switch game on the Switch. So if it ever goes on a super sale because they weren't able to sell that many copies, we might get it then. We'll see. But definitely not playing it at launch, which was a couple days ago. Actually, if anything, we did Death's Door instead. That was around right when it launched. Technically the day before. Now, there's a couple big Switch titles I've skipped over the years. I don't play every Switch game that ever comes out. I think the previous biggest one that I skipped was Splatoon 3, but that's mostly because I don't play shooters. Like, if I was to play a shooter, like, I guess I would try Splatoon 3, because, like, the style of it kind of works out a little bit better. I don't know, it's just a genre I just don't really play. A Dragon Gem is the best because of its name. Yeah, next non-Gems of War game that we'll probably play, that isn't one that we already played on the channel, will probably be Inscryption. Now that we're starting to do a couple, oh gosh, what's it called? What's the company's name? Now that we're starting to do a couple Devolver Digital games, I might as well do every single Devolver Digital game on my backlog. And I believe there's only 2 other ones that are under that category. Both the 2 turn-based ones. Well, that's probably not every turn-based ones they've done, but, you know, 2 other turn-based ones. And those 2 were Inscryption and Loop Hero. Inscryption seems like it could be pretty interesting. Loop Hero, I personally didn't really like it that much from what I saw. But I figured I'd give it a chance just to see if I actually hate it or not. Like, the premise of it just didn't seem too appealing. We'll do a stream for it to give it a shot. I'm not sure how long Inscryption will take, though, if it'll be a stream or a couple streams. We'll probably do it, I'm not sure when. Maybe midway through next week. We'll do it soon. I've heard a lot of good things about Inscryption. Have not heard any good things about Loop Hero, though. It's just kind of a game that exists. That wasn't, like, bad or good. Oh, so I have not been paying attention at all. Have we gotten all the crowns yet? Because we'll hand out a code if we have, and then go Vault Key grinding. Nope, we're missing the final one. Of course we are. Why would we not be? That's like the easiest way for them to fix this event. Keep it exactly as is, but make the frequency of all 10 of them as common as the very first one. So like the first 10 battles you have, it is literally just Battle Crasher, Battle Crasher, Battle Crasher, Battle Crasher. Like, literally, like, even just make it a 100% chance. So that all you'd have to do is do, like, 10 fights. And your first 10 fights will get replaced by the Battle Crasher, and then boom. Good to go. That's like the absolute easiest way they could fix this event. If they want to, like, very minimally change anything about it. Just make the frequency 100% chance for the first 10, which is all that you need. By the first 10, I mean all 10. Because there is only 10. A gold gem would be second best. Actually, that would be an interesting premise. Because they did that in Puzzle Quest 1. There was basically a gold gem, an EXP gem, and I want to say one other type of gem? I don't remember. But there was a gold gem and an EXP gem, which in Gems of War honestly wouldn't be that bad. Like, you always need more gold because of guilds. And you always need more XP because why not? It's like one of the main ways to track like how much progress you've ultimately done on your account. Or at least one of the main ways that people can look at it very quickly to see what your level is. And it's like, okay, yeah, about that much amount of progress then. It's not a perfect way of really counting it, but it is a way of counting it. But it would be interesting if they had ever added such a thing. The only problem is if it was mostly resource-based, it'll have the same issue it had in Puzzle Quest 1, where, like, it wasn't that good. Like it was good in the sense that it gave resources, but that's all it did, which made it kind of bad in a lot of situations. But if nothing else, gold boost ratio teams would appreciate it a lot, especially if a gold gem added more gold boost ratio teams to the game, as that would open up quite a bit of potential. An EXP gem couldn't do such a thing, but of course a soul gem could, if they also added a soul-related one, a gold one and a soul one, while also adding more soul boost ratio troops during the season or during the campaign, and similarly for the gold one doing gold boost ratio troops, because that would bring back both gold ratio and soul ratio teams, both of which are things that are currently existing but are very rarely used, mostly because armor boost ratio is generally the way to go when it comes to most of the better like scaling boost ratios within the game. And as far as resource ones, gold's still the best, but it's been nerfed for a couple years now ever since they nerfed Skeleton Key. Anyways, let's go ahead to the code. And then the rest of the time, I guess we're just opening a bunch of vault keys. Maybe 64 of them, so we get it down to a nice even number. Alright, redeem code time. Oh, not with that team. There we go. Redeem code time. Oh, 1 second. I don't have the thing open. 1 moment. Gotta go dig them up. Loading, loading, loading. Loading, loading. Oh, never mind. It's already loaded. The reason why I don't see them is there's a big, gigantic amount of empty space when I open up the document. Let me get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Aha. I'll catch you later, Clip Bomb. Thanks for stopping by. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. And just copy paste random numbers and letters and give the same word as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,000 Roger gold. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Hoping the first orb would already been good. Not quite. But yeah, I guess we'll go open 63 keys and then probably call it there. And then tomorrow we'll cover the weekly video. And tomorrow night we'll be probably just doing Tower of Doom. We might just do the entirety of Tower of Doom tomorrow night. That tends to be what we do at most Tower of Doom weeks. It's a pretty quick event. You can get it out in like, if your guild already has a scouted, you can get the entirety of Tower of Doom done in like 1 hour. It's actually a relatively quick event, if and only if your guild scouted it already. If not, then it can take a little bit longer. I actually kind of like how Tower of Doom is set up, as it actually requires you to communicate with your guild in order to figure out what the correct path is. It is the only event in the entirety of the game that it is required. Obviously, you could still do that for like Guild Wars, and it would help you slightly. You get a little bit of an edge if you know like exactly what your final battle is going to be and what your likely like second to last battle is going to be. But you know, it doesn't really matter too much knowing in advance because you can just build your team once you see it. It's not like you don't know what your team's going to be when you fight it. Like you get to see it and prepare your team for as long as time you want. Which is one of the reasons why when we actually adjust our team, we win a lot more often. Because you can see what your enemy team is in Guild Wars, and then just hard counter them however you need. Because if you do that every single time, your win rate will just go super high. How we won the last Guild War perfectly. It's how we did the 100th one. And maybe we'll do it for the next one as well. The only problem is it takes so much longer. But if you build a team to hard counter each one, you'll almost never lose, unless you just get really unlucky starting board. Or just really unlucky double empower into book into auto lose. Or any other similar shenanigan. that is beyond control, even with the correct team. Can we show a team for the Doom event? Sure, I can go build one real quick. Of course, we'll have a bunch of copy-paste for them on the weekly video. First thing that comes to mind is Angry Mob into Zul'Goth. Probably want to do another Skull Spammer with it. Trying to think of what we might have gotten since the last Red Tower of Doom that we might be able to utilize now. Because it has been quite a while, time-wise. Oh, you know what? This is actually funny. This team would still work. All the teams we mentioned for the thing would actually still work too. Like Triple Gargoyle, Marilith, and that. Well, that's really funny. I didn't even think about that, but we actually already have two teams made, in a sense. Literally the same ones we run for Red, what's the event called? The Seasonal Lunar New Year event. But the same ones we ran for that, we could literally just run for Tower of Doom if we truly wanted to. But another one that's more focused on the events. We actually have access to Mang, which is interesting. And if I'm oh, no, you actually are allowed to use any colored weapon. Though you are still allowed to use red as well if you want. But you can use any colored weapon you want. However, we could go down the Mang route if we want. Like Mang Marilith, instead of going down Angry Mob route. And go like Mang Marilith, which has an extra red. Get a Zul'Goth in there. And then the only other thing we need is just a little bit of mana support, and we'll look for that based on a yellow-red. And first thing that comes to mind is potentially a Goblin Rocket, oddly enough. We could go for something more expensive. We have Divinia if we need protection and cleanse, which honestly wouldn't hurt, having a cleanse option. Could even put that in there. Why not? Get Divinia for support, make sure our hero doesn't die, give us a bunch of mana accumulation. Also has cleanse in case we need it. Also has random stats effect. And then we set the banner accordingly. Where we go double green red. And unfortunately, of course, it isn't double anymore, but the value is still there. And then we change our class to like Elementalist or something. And there we go. Mang, Marilith, Divinia, Zul'Goth. That's one angle you can go. Of course, there's Angry Mob. There's True Damage Spam. There's click Gargoyle until you win. There's a couple different strategies. I might make some new ones over top of those just so I'm not mentioning the same one again. But we'll see. I might just mention the same ones again. Like, I'm probably going to mention 4, and I might just mention the other 2 we already had. I definitely need to go make the other one an Angry Mob team if we are going to do that, though. Like, make it a low rarity. Actually, I might change the other one into a low rarity Angry Mob team. The Gargoyle one's kind of fun, too. Because Gargoyle... Oh, no. Gargoyle only scales on your own attack, not the enemy attack. So it won't keep scaling in Tower of Doom, which you might actually need for the later fights. Anyways, what we're doing. Let's keep doing Volkies. We want to do at least 57 more. Wait, is it brown? Wait, have I been saying red the whole time and it's brown? Wait, is it brown? Hold up. Brown, brown, brown. Tower of Doom. Wait, why does it not say the color here? Brown? Oh, it is brown. Oh, well, yeah, Angry Mob it is. Wait, it is brown. Oh, you know why I thought it was red? You know why? The last Tower of Doom we're getting is red. And because that was the last thing I saw, that was the last thing I associated Tower of Doom to. Oh, that's funny. Because the next Tower of Doom is red. But because this was the last thing I looked at, I was like, oh yeah, next Tower of Doom is red. But no, the Tower of Doom in 77 days from now is red. The one we currently have is brown. The one coming tomorrow. Never mind. Well, same premise. Just build Angry Mob. Actually, Gargoyle team is still literally the same thing. You literally just put an Angry Mob in there. And go like hero tank. Like, you know how you adjust this team? You go take this. You get rid of the Marilith because it can't be used. You throw an Angry Mob in front of it because you need mana. And then you literally just throw hero in first slot with like any explodey weapon. Stone Slicer being a pretty good one if you have. Actually, not even Stone Slicer, because what if people don't have it? Let's go, like, literally just Essence. Let's go Essence, something everyone can get easily. And then boom, cheap pure brown team. Because you're allowed to use any weapon. Your weapon is not restricted in Tower of Doom. And then you just change your banner to, like, a brown-red. Doubling on either one, doesn't really matter which. Well, I guess if we're going to be using a tanky hero class, you probably want to double on brown. So we can do something like that, change our class to Elementalist. And, which has an event next week as well. And then boom, there you go. You got yourself a brown Tower of Doom team that's super cheap. There we go. Yeah, we'll have to adjust the rest of them accordingly. Anyways. That's not the one I wanted. Yeah, it's brown. Yeah, next Tower of Doom is brown. The one after that is red. Time travel. Yeah, time traveling 77 days in the future. Hey, first good orb of the stream. Here we go, 41. Always love to see it. But yeah, brown has a lot of interesting options. It still has the true damage spam, oddly enough. You have access to Chalcedony teams, which are fun. What else does brown have these days? You have access to Gurgulfa if you just want a Gurgulfa tank. Obviously, Angry Mob for a good mana accumulator. Let's see. Someone was saying the question. Wait, where was the question? Question above? When will you do your retro streams from the old games collection? Oh yeah, we still need to do that at some point. I never bothered getting all the adapters and everything. But I do plan on doing that sometime this year, because we have quite a few of them. I'm not sure where we're going to start when we start doing them. But yeah, we have a lot of them. I want to say almost like 100-something of them. We're not obviously going to ever do all of them, probably. But we'll do some out of them. I think one of the first ones I kind of want to do is... I'm not sure. Oh, I know which one I want to do. The first game we're going to stream once we finally get that going is the N64 Star Wars racing game. It is the first game I ever played on a console. Or possibly ever. No, I think it's specifically on a console. It was my first ever console game. They actually re-released it a couple years ago for Switch. They did like a $15 port. But no point in spending $15 if we could do it for free. They already own it physical. Assuming it still works, that is. We'll find out. But I never did get all that working yet. It's mostly just a bunch of adapters and things I need to switch out. And it should work perfectly fine. Actually, I still... I mentioned in the past, too. I quite literally still have the TV here that I used to play the GameCube on. That TV is over 20 years old. Actually, it's over 24, 25 years old? Like, that TV is from the late 1990s. And I still own it. We can't record from that TV, though. Yeah, it's that one with the pods. Or whatever those called in Star Wars. I never really got to that into Star Wars, which is kind of funny given that the first game I ever played on the console was Star Wars. Oh no, I was never a big fan of the Star Wars series. Like, I don't hate Star Wars, I just... Which is kind of weird because I actually like quite a few sci-fi things. Oh no, I just never really got that into Star Wars. Compared to other series. Also, Mario Kart was better. Though for the time, that game did implement quite a few interesting mechanics. Many of which haven't really been reused these days. I think one of the most interesting ones is, which I'm pretty sure has been used a couple times, but not that often in recent times, is kart parts having durability. So if you like roll up against too many walls, or you get hit by like bigger drivers too much based on their bulk, or just even getting hit at all, like you start losing durability on some of your parts. And if you lose all your durability on a part, you literally just explode. Or it actually makes it harder to drive for a short duration. Which, if I'm not mistaken, it actually made it, like, viable to literally fall off the map sometimes. Because if one of your engines were, like, slowing you down so much, it would actually be quicker to just die and respawn due to how much it would slow you down. Also, that's an instance where Phoenicia would have one-shot. Let me go back to Pure Magic. Hey, Orb of Forging. Nice. That's a good one. Orb of Forging. There it is. It's almost like when you get hit by a blue shell in Mario Kart. Like, it's literally quicker to fall off the map than to get hit by the blue shell. Because the time is, it takes up less time. It was almost the same premise for that game whenever you, like, when your engines blew up. Like, it was literally just quicker to just die. Let's see. Didn't deal with it. Let's go back to, how many more do we need? 4 to 4. Yeah, one other series we could do that would be a lot of fun too is playing through all the Mario parties 1 through 10. Well, technically not 10, but 1 through 9. I do own 10 these days, thanks to Defiant. However, I'm actually going to keep it sealed for 2 reasons. One is, why not? And the second one is, I don't have a Wii U. So even if I opened it, I can't actually play it. So I'm just keeping it for the sake of having a full collection, more so than actually playing it. But we'd be able to play through all 1 through 9. Also, one thing I still haven't found, oddly enough, I have not found my Wii. I have no clue where my Wii is. Which is a weird thing to be missing. But I honestly don't know where it is. Like, I have all my Wii games. Or most of my Wii games. But the Wii is nowhere to be seen. Let's see. I'll throw that one down. Because one Wii game I would absolutely love to play again, that I have no clue why they haven't re-released because it's such an outstanding game, is Fortune Street. It is basically like Monopoly combined with Mario Party combined with a stock market. It was really good. Like, basically every good economy-based game in one game. And I'm really surprised it never got a sequel or a re-release. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. Everything's been good. No, we did not get the mana we needed. I'm actually going to pass my turn, as weird as that may seem. Mostly because I don't want to block him on red in case we had to do it that way. Hey, another good orb. There we go. Not too bad on orbs today. Could be better, could be worse. We're only getting good minor ones, though. We're not getting any good majors. So it's funny when we got a 0 green board the other day. For a second I thought that one almost was, but there was only a few. But yeah, yesterday we finally got another 0 green board. I think it has only happened to us twice. Unless I didn't notice the other times it happened. But there is a non-zero chance you get a starting board with 0 green while using Leprechaun. Or any troop for that matter. But obviously it affects Leprechaun very heavily. There are quite literally 0 green on the board when it needs to explode all the green. And obviously that's pretty common if they deny everything, but very rarely does it happen from your starting board. But to my understanding, they have no minimum limit to how many of each gem can be on the starting board. So there are times when it's 0. It's rare, but it happens. Which is weird because I feel like a lot of their other games that Gems of War has developed, or, you know, the company, they tend to have like some kind of minimum. Like, I know Puzzle Quest 3 did, their most recent a game. But they don't seem to have such a thing for Gems of War. Where, like, hard limits, like, at least some amount of the gem to spawn. But nope, you can get actual 0. And you can also get the inverse happening. You can get something like 15 or even more of, like, a given color on the board. Very rare, but it does happen. I'm trying to see if we have something that shows all the colors. Because one thing that's nice is if you have something on your team that can show all the colors, just to do a quick count on them. Like here we can see 16 green, of course. Which is definitely above average number. Come on, one good major orb tonight. Or only a good, small, couple minor ones. If anyone still has any other questions, I think we want to go over, do let me know. Because our goal is pretty much just open until we have 1,900 keys. Which is, how many more keys? 28 more. And then we'll call it a night and get the team's video up soon for the weekly stuff. We'll be going over all the Tower of Doom teams, the all the event teams for like Tuesday, Thursday, all that. And we'll probably cover a team for the invasion as well. Oh, an ingot that I don't need. 71. Soon we'll have 100. Actually, I need to go make the text smaller once it hits 100. These will drag all the other texts over. You're watching the Cowboys game. Oh yeah, who looks like it's going to be making the Super Bowl this year? Because shouldn't we know in the upcoming weeks? Also, what day does the Super Bowl normally fall on? Google. Help. Super Bowl 2023. February 12th. When is that? Calendar, help. That is a Sunday, 3 Sundays. Oh, it's 3 weeks from now. Yeah, 3 weeks from now is the Super Bowl. Fun. I'll need to get my food list ready. I better see what has deals going on. I'm pretty sure most of them are advertising them by now. Or will be very soon. Honestly, I feel like I see more Super Bowl advertisements than Valentine's Day advertisements around this time of year. Did you want to buy diamonds? Oh yeah, I always forget to get that. Thanks for reminding me. Ever since they changed that screen, I almost always forget to get it. Like, I've probably missed it 1 in 3 times. Which is drastically higher than we've ever missed it prior. But yeah, every Sunday is Diamond Day. You go to Dungeon, you click on Dungeon Offers, and this top one, you get a couple gem keys, a Guarantee Celestial, and a few other things for only 50 gems. It's really good value. Even just the diamonds alone is worth it. And you get a bunch of loot on top of it. But I always keep forgetting that on Sunday. You can get it every day, but Sunday it has exceedingly good value. It still has good value every other day as well. But Sunday it has above good value. Like way more than normal. So I always get every Sunday because I don't really need more diamonds. But the offer is just so good on Sunday that I still go for it. Even though we don't even need diamonds anymore. Just because the overall value is so good on it. But it's good enough value that once you're progressing through the game, you can actually buy it literally every day. It's pretty good. But I personally only go for it on Sunday. Did I ever get the brown dragon? No, but tomorrow night we will be opening an egg to try to get it. We'll be doing that probably before we do Tower of Doom. We'll be probably doing most, if not all, Tower of Doom tomorrow night. And before we do, we'll be trying to open up a brown dragon egg. And that's probably going to be the last egg we open prior to next patch, in hopes that next patch will have a way to do it a little bit better. So we can finally go get all the gem dragons. Because by then we should also get a vault event or 2. Actually, I might even just hold off on it and just wait for that, we'll see. Because we only have a 1 in 6 chance we're going to get it. And we have failed that 21 times or something at this point. Hello, Chemcad. Welcome. Hello, Black Glasses as well. But yeah, we still have not gotten to 6 Dragon. It's kind of insane. Very unlucky on it. 1919. Oh, was that just a one-shot Phoenicia? Nice. The power of the extra magic. Oh yeah, this is also the last few hours you can use the extra magic. So enjoy it while you have it, because it will be gone in 4 hours from now. Sorry, 5 hours from now. Because we currently have 8 magic for the next 5 hours. Really good if you want to go do anything in Underworlds or farm something specifically where magic would be useful. And technically, this is one of those things. As we have 8 higher damage on Phoenicia than we normally would, as well as on everything. And that does actually help us one-shots the Cedric occasionally. Whereas normally it would not have the damage output to do so. Or at least at a lot of rarer case. Because even with it, we're not reaching it most times. But with it, it does close the gap ever so slightly. Still does not have Horde Mimic. Yeah, some people might go on the 1 year mark of no Horde Mimic. The thing with that, though, is you don't waste resources when going for Horde Mimic, though. You might waste time, but it doesn't actually consume resources. And you're still getting resources while doing it, too. Because the longer you get unlucky on Dragonite, or, you know, the Dragon Gems, you're just burning through gems the entire time. Until you finally get them all. Like, there is kind of a free way of getting it with time. But the problem is you need a Vault Event. And guess what we haven't had in forever? A Vault Event. Yeah, I'm gonna miss the +8 magic. We might never get another campaign again that's +8 magic. Or if we do, no time soon. It'll be like another year before we see one. Like, it won't be uncommon that we'll see like a +6 magic here and there. But +8s might not happen for another year or two. It's the first and only time it has ever happened so far. It took them like 2 years to get around to doing an +8 magic campaign. Like, +6 is still a lot, though. And those are a lot more common. You're getting a lot of buffering. Someone else mentioned that earlier to stream too. A lot of people were mentioning they didn't have an issue, but we've had multiple people this stream mention they were getting buffering. On my end, it's not showing any issues. Oh, it did say we've dropped 14 frames recently, though. Though that's would have only buffered us for like a second. Because before it said we dropped 0, now it says 14. So it says we have dropped 0.0% of all frames. That's because 14 is like half a second of drop. Hey! Oh, it's not a gold one, though, but it's still a good one. Okay, that's our best drop so far tonight. It's not the super, super good one, but it's still a good one. The Silver Glory Medal. Come on, show me the gold one. Not oranges, but the gold Glory Medal. The true drop we're after. Because realistically, that's like the main thing we're hunting for when doing these. Is Orb of Glory. Orb of Glory is highest priority. Orb of Minions is second highest priority. Everything else we ultimately don't really care too much about, to be honest. Like, yes, Orb of Forgings help us. But we're eventually going to have them all at some point, so it's not too big a deal to rush it down. So those are like the only two of interest. And between those two, the glories are a lot more enticing because they give you immediate something. Whereas the minion orbs is, you know, just going to upgrade cosmetic pets. We don't really get much out of that. Whereas being able to upgrade a mythic and give it more stats, that actually does something. Giving them a cool little icon next to their nameplate. I wish you could customize what the border looks like for your elite level. Like, give us like multiple different options for like bronze elite, silver elite, gold elite. So like once you hit gold elite, you go have like a couple different customizations you could put on your card. Because that'd be a pretty cool feature. Kind of like what you can do with the shield for your guild, but do it to like the frame of each card that you have at gold, silver, or bronze rank. Or even just block it to only gold. So you can do a little bit more customization to the card. Especially on ones that you have to use so often. Be nice to have a little bit of a different border on it. We didn't always have to see the same one. Alright, final battle. Anything good? Anything? Oh, nice. 144 gems. Better than nothing. It's all going to go to Dragonite, but better than nothing. It's literally just all going to Dragonite. But anyways, guys, I think we'll be wrapping it up here. We will be back tomorrow night and doing the entirety of Brown Tower of Doom, not red, brown. The entirety of Brown Tower of Doom, probably tomorrow night. If not all of it, definitely a good chunk of it. Though we might just do all of it. I'll be doing that. We might open a dragon egg. We'll see. We'll have enough for it tomorrow. Who knows? You know what? It's Brown Tower of Doom. Yes, we will open a egg tomorrow because it's Brown Tower of Doom, which means we're gonna get brown egg. That's what that means, right? We'll have 100% chance for brown egg. I sure hope so. No, one can hope. But yeah, we'll have the weekly video going up soon. We'll be going over all the teams for Tower of Doom, for Tuesday Faction, for Nexus Hero, and as well as the Friday Invasion that we have going on. And we'll go from there. Anyways, just as a last bit of a reminder, don't forget if you haven't already finished it, that's the Adana weapon in the current raid event is going to be really good, most likely, when they do the Adana rework, which is coming in March. I mean, why did I say March? I mean May, the other one with M. But in May, we're getting a Adana rework where this weapon might be really good, so make sure if you haven't gotten that, get that. Last few hours for that. It's the last few hours to utilize campaign, not only to finish campaign, but also to utilize +8 magic, the first and only time we've had this. So if there's any kind of factions or anything you want to do with that, good time to farm it. Even just what we were doing a bunch of vaults, kills them a little bit easier. And aside from that, yeah, the next week we just have mostly just reoccurring events and a few things going on. New pet on Wednesday, the whole Tower of Doom thing on Monday, and invasion event's probably going to be pretty standard. Though we are getting a new weapon on the invasion. So I didn't check to see if it's actually good or not, but actually let's check it right now before we just end. I actually didn't even bother looking at the invasion weapon for this Friday. Actually, it's right in this tab. What am I doing? It's this one right here. It does the following. It explodes magic +1 green gems, grants a random status effect to all wild folk allies, and then summon a random wild folk troop. That's not horrible. It's yellow-brown. I feel like that's too situational to use. The other problem with it is it's going to block Wild King. Though that can also be beneficial because that means you could use on like a yellow Guild War day if you really want to, I guess. Actually, you know what? That is actually kind of cool. Because you know what you can do on yellow Guild War day now if you wanted to? You can use... no, it's probably not better than some other strategies. But one option that does open up is you can run... you can run Hero with this weapon in first slot, followed by King Salinas. Or sorry, not King Salinas. Well, you do use them, just not in that order. It'd be something like something in first slot, followed by Hero with this weapon, followed by King Salinas, followed by... sorry, why do I keep saying King Salinas? I will eventually say the correct king. There's too many kings in this game. The team you would run is something in first slot that is Wild Folk, or anything that you want to put there, followed by this weapon, followed by the Wild King, and then King Salinas in last slot, in that order. Like, that's one team that you could probably get away with it. So it does have some purpose, if nothing else. Anyways, that's this Friday. Anyways, guys, catch you guys later. Have a wonderful week, and thanks for stopping by. Goodbye, everyone. Also, hello, Jay. Goodbye, Jay. Oh, no. The time zones kind of works like that sometimes. But I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll have the weekly video up soon. Yeah, Rope Dart with it could be actually kind of interesting, too. But unfortunately, you can't use, like, you can use one or the other. But yeah, Rope Dart has a lot of good synergies.